I've completed Star Wars Outlaws and I've played over 80 hours so far, so I'm going to share some tips and tricks with you that I wish I had known earlier so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Now, no storyline spoilers here in this video, and cheers to Ubisoft for the review code so I can get this video out to you very swiftly. And let's first cover perhaps the most important topic right now, as the game is currently bugged on PS5 and PC, and I've also heard some Xbox consoles as well, where you won't be able to complete the storyline or achieve that 100% platinum trophy if you're playing on a game version that is any lower than 1.02. Now, even if you don't have issues right now, it is very important that you do check this anyway, because you may still not be able to fully complete the game. So what you should do is you should select Outlaws on your home console screen, as you can kind of see me doing here. Select options and then head down to information, on this case on the PS5, which will display the version number of the game. So if you see anything that is actually below 1.02, or if you've started a new game or saved your game before the 30th of August, then you need to start afresh, which is exactly what I need to do if I actually want a 100% platinum trophy this game, as I'm missing a few bugged side quests and chests even after 80 plus hours. And I found these in the late game, which I just can't complete. And saying that I'm infuriated about this is a very polite understatement.
This is where the fun begins.
That said, if you've got the 1.02 version on your console and you started the game after the day one patch, which arrived on the 30th of August, Ubisoft have said that you should be okay. In fact, Ubisoft actually appeared on BBC News apologizing for this. This is how kind of serious it is. And if you have been affected, you should have a free Trailblazer trinket added to your account, as well as 100 Ubisoft coins. So if you're wondering what that is, or if you come across that on your account or in your inventory, well, that is why. And if you don't have it, what I would say is follow up with Ubisoft support, raise a ticket if you do want them. Now, as for pre-order editions, which are also bugged, by the way,
this is getting out of hand.
You can only unlock Jabba's Gambit's quest after you complete the main quest on Tatooine. That's when ND5 will call you over, or call you on your comm link to start the quest, with the pre-order cosmetic bonuses being delivered to your delivery crate, which is in the back of your ship after you do unlock the Trailblazer on Tashara, which is around 2 hours or so. Now, in my previous tips and tricks video, I recommended the best gear set in the game for combat and gunslinging, and I'll link that video at the end of this one if you haven't seen it yet. But as not to repeat myself here, I'm going to recommend to you the best stealth gear set in Outlaws, in my opinion. So you kind of have two options to choose from here, and that's by unlocking the Crimson Dawn gear set, which you can earn by maxing out their Syndicate reputation to excellent. Now, why this is such a good gear set for stealth is you can gain a large amount of adrenaline when performing stealth takedowns, which will then allow you to use your Deadeye ability to then one-shot several other NPCs within the vicinity at one time or in quick succession. Now, the gear bonus also allows you to recharge your stun shot pretty much instantly when enemies are caught in your smoke bomb, which means that you can then use your stun gun when you're close by, throw down a smoke bomb at your feet to then recharge it, use the stun gun again, and then perform a takedown for adrenaline gain. You can then wipe the remaining enemies in, again, rapid succession. Just make sure that you do unlock the stun bombs through the mechanic expert on Tashara, which will appear in your quest log as you finish the new tricks quest given by Danka in Jaunter's Hope. Speaking of which, if you do want to max out that Crimson rep early to get this gear set, what is the fastest way to do that? Well, it's not through the storyline, as that won't actually get you to the required excellent level. So you will need to complete Crimson Dawn contracts, which are side quests which unlock after you complete the Bosnok quest, which is part of the main Tashara storyline. It'll take you about 2 or 3 hours to get there. You'll then be able to speak to brokers, which are dotted all around the world, and access contract missions through the holotable in your ship. And my recommendation here is to choose the Pirate Enforcer and Empire Infiltrator missions, which are arguably the quickest way to complete, as they're mainly combat based, and they also won't ruin your rep with other Syndicate factions, as Pirates, Bandits and the Empire are neutral reputation wise in this game. That said, if you don't see Enforcer or Infiltrator quests pop up, then do go for the Smuggler contracts, as with an upgraded speeder or ship, it's really easy just to get from point A to point B for a quick quest hand in and reputational gain. Now, there's a specific ability you unlock from one expert in particular that I think you should get early on, especially especially as there will come a point in this game where you need money to upgrade the performance of your speeder, ship, and blaster by buying parts from specific vendors, as this is, of course, a Ubisoft game, and one of the best ways to make money in a Ubisoft game is to pretty much hoover up and loot everything you come across and then sell that random junk back to a vendor. So with that in mind, and it doesn't change here in Outlaws, I'd recommend you visit a Jawa named Tika. She's a hotfixer located in the South Junlan Waste of Tatooine, and after you finish her intro quest, you'll then want to unlock the Magasha skill, which provides you with a additional 10% worth of bonus credits or money for every item that you sell to all vendors throughout the game. And when you are selling to a vendor, don't worry about this here saying sell all valuables. It won't sell the good stuff that you've collected. It just sells the trash that doesn't contribute to upgrades or side quests in this game. I don't know why Ubisoft have called it valuables, because they're not valuables. And I've seen a few of you in the comment section in the last few days ask about this. So yeah, don't worry about selling all of that stuff, all that crap. You won't need it. But with this expert buff active, it works out as a significant sum of free money over the course of 50 or so hours with the game. So it is worth the 20 minutes of your time early on in Outlaws just unlocking Tika. And fun fact, she actually first appeared in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, if you didn't know. So it's quite a nice, cool little Easter egg or character implemented in this game. Now, if you've learned something new or you're enjoying the video so far, please do leave a very swift like down below, as it does really help me out making YouTube videos. These do take quite a long time to make, so I hope you're finding them informative. So thank you very much for your support. Now, there's a couple of tools here I would really encourage you to try and incorporate into your overall gameplay. The first being the binoculars, which you obtain after reaching Tashara automatically in the storyline. And I know it can be quite tedious with these kind of game mechanics to have to stop what you're doing, open up another screen, mark enemies, and then continue with your playtime. But this brief bit of preparation will pay dividends to you over the course of your time with Outlaws, because if you're heading into a syndicate restricted area for a specific quest and you do end up getting spotted, you will suffer from different reputational penalties. So marking enemies with these red tags is really impactful, as you'll know where the patrols are at all times, and then you won't kind of get caught out unexpectedly. Secondly, the electroshock prod, which you can earn as a reward from the scavenger expert based in Akiva via the early storyline on that specific planet, is also a fantastic stealth tool, as it can disable robots and droids quietly, as well as heavy enemies as well, meaning you don't need to use your ion blaster to kind of take these enemies out and then subsequently alerting all other nearby enemies. So it's definitely worth getting this optional tool in the first 25% or so of your playthrough, as the enemies become a lot harder. Speaking of which, there's some super fast general quality of life tips and tricks that you should be aware of before you chuck down 60 plus hours into this game, or in my case, another 60 hours after I have to start all over again. God damn you, Ubisoft. Firstly, as soon as you visited all of the planets, you don't need to then head back to your ship to then fly back to a previous planet that you've just been from. You can just open up the map menu by pressing L2 to open up the navigator menu, which is a subsection inside of this map menu. I don't know why it's so small. I don't know why they've made that so small, but there it is. And then you can press R1 to move through different planets and kind of fast travel back really easily. Secondly, you can also fast travel back to your speeder on your map, so you can kind of ditch it somewhere where there isn't a fast travel point and then always just kind of head back to it when you need to. That's really quite useful to handing quests, which are usually at the other end of the map. And make sure you drop an annotation on your map when you find an area that you can't enter because you don't have the correct tools to get inside. You will then thank yourself 20 hours later when you do finally unlock that tool to kind of get through this wall, and then you can come back to that spot so you can then not miss it or spend hours trying to find that again in the future. Speaking of map, you're also going to come across a few random events that lead to special vendors that are very easily missed. The first one is the rogue trader called Schumer, who actually lands with her ship, which you kind of may see as in the peripherals as you play through, or whilst you're out exploring or traveling around the open world, and which I disregarded for the first time I saw it as just kind of like nice background visuals. It wasn't until she actually landed on a ridge directly in front of me for a second time that I then did kind of head over to her and investigate what it was all about. And I'm glad I did, because she sells some really good rare items that are worth spending your credits on, including some gear sets that you might be a little bit partial to. She also does seem to appear on each planet, and I will pop up the location of where she landed for Nika and I on Kijimi, Tashara, Kiva, and Tatooine, so you can find her more easily and check her out for yourself. And a quick mention, if you do see Nyx kind of prompting you to investigate an area whilst out in the open world, this will be a treasure hunt that results in an item that you can then exchange at the tailor in Morriganah for specific Nyx cosmetic gear. So it's kind of up to you if you fancy grinding them out or skipping them, but hey, now you know what they are. Now, you may have also noticed that there is there's quite a few charm slots that open up for you in your loadout menu. In fact, you may have already looted several charms without even realizing it, so make sure you do kind of head into that menu and check, because some of them do offer really great passive buffs that again compound and help you over time. That said, there's a few I would recommend here, such as the major charm called the Ancient Hunter Carvin, which can be found at Typhon's Rock in Tashara. It increases the amount of adrenaline gained from all gameplay sources, allowing you to go Deadeye mode a lot faster and a lot more frequently, as well as the Overgrown Amberstone, which can be found in the Fallen Mound on Tashara, which allows you to gain adrenaline when losing a significant amount of health, which you're always likely to do throughout this game, whatever difficulty level you play on. So you may as well get something kind of back for that penalty. There's also a minor charm here called Vintage Chrono, which I believed I picked up via kind of random drop. It increases your super cooling window, which allows you to hit that perfect reload timer a lot easier. So if you manage to loot this, do equip it if you don't have the auto cooling complete setting turned on, as it will make combat a lot more easier and a lot more enjoyable for you. But what about Sabacc? Is there anything you can do with this awesome card game to kind of like win more frequently and lose a lot less often? Well, absolutely, because if you do unlock Lando as an expert, which you can do so by completing the expert intel quest called the High Roller, which will automatically appear in your quest log as you progress through the early main storyline mission on Akiva called the Droidsmith. He will then teach you the Double Down skill, which means that you can actually draw an additional card without other players realizing. It's quite similar to the cheating prompt that Nyx allows you to do, where he kind of sneaks up behind the opponent's back, so you can kind of find out what cards they're currently holding, which I would also recommend you do on the second turn of this third turn game, so you can review the current hand your opponents have and then kind of make a decision on whether to gamble by pulling out another card from the deck or just sticking with what you've currently got. Now, this is all worth doing, in my opinion, if you enjoy Sabacc and kind of want to beat other high rollers across the galaxy who offer a little bit more difficulty, as you get some decent credits and cool cosmetic skins for doing so. Now, as we're on the topic of mini games in Outlaws, you may have come across a few other betting games, such as the Fathier or horse racing. Now, these can be quick money earners if you know which horse is going to win, which you may already know, as without knowing, you could have picked up intel from a data pad in some of the syndicate hideouts that you've come across during your playthrough. Now, instead of checking or scrolling down in your intel log, you'll know if you've got a tip-off about this horse race, because when you approach and interact with a horse racing station, you'll see a small R1 prompt, which is quite easily missed in the top right-hand corner. And that tells you what horse is going to win, essentially, from that datapad intel that you picked up hours ago, meaning you can pull in a quick 500 or so credits, like I did just here on your screen right now, betting on the right horse. Incidentally, if you don't have any insider intel, there's usually a couple NPCs kind of lurking, hanging about around the tables, ready to talk to you and provide you with the name of a guaranteed winner. You'll just need to kind of run a quick small side quest or errand for them. So if you run past a table during your playthrough, just have a little quick look inside to see if you've got any kind of insider recent intel for who that winning horse is going to be. Now, I've made another helpful video like this one with even more tips and tricks, so give that a click on your screen or TV right now. It might even be on my face right now. Lovely. So you can get even more out of this awesome game, and hopefully I'll see you there in just a second. My thanks to Nika for helping me in early access to make this video for you. Coffee's on her, and hopefully I will see you in that next video in just a moment.